Let's do this, where real Americans come to talk about real issues, faith, freedom, and the future of our country. From the heart of Mississippi to the rest of the nation, you're locked in to The Real Morning Show with your host on the radio and live stream, Darrell Arnold, bringing it to you straight every single morning.
Hello. It is Friday, April 24th, and we're going to bring it to you straight, my friends. And the year is 2026. Thanks for joining us online on the Restream, which is Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and so much more. We're also broadcasting live on 104.3 FM, Pearl, Mississippi. Thank y'all for joining me on this wonderful Friday morning, y'all. Today is Friday and the year is 2026. Is there anything going on in the area? And is there anything going on in the country? My God, yes, the answer is absolutely YES. If you notice, I got a new microphone here. I want to thank B&H Photo and Electronics and the company Rhodes for sending me this bad boy, the special edition red and black microphone, which are my colors. And they said, hey, we checked out your show. Will you use our microphone? And I said, absolutely. 6:34 a.m. in the morning right now. Thank y'all for listening. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Mobility Medical, that's mobilitymedicalinc.com. Lakeland Drive, Flowood, Jackson, Mississippi. Of course, Cypress Point Resort, the cypresspointms.com. And then, of course, want to thank Mississippi Coding Academies, the next program, mscoding.org, mscoding.org. We also want to thank all of the other sponsors that are always hanging out with us. We got a couple of new ones coming on May 1st as we roll into the new month, ladies and gentlemen. Summertime. There was a lot of bad tornadoes last night over in near the Air Force base or the military base, Vance, in Oklahoma area near Enid, Oklahoma. Thoughts and prayers to everyone involved with that. That was a huge tornado, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting all up in that tornado season. We know how it goes in Mississippi as well. We really do. So if you want to join the chat, if you see it on Facebook or YouTube or anywhere else, please do us a favor and share it to everyone and anyone that you know. And we really, honest to God, appreciate it. We don't just say that on this show. We actually mean what we're saying. And we say what we mean, too. We don't always get it right, but we try to get everything as, quote, possible right anyway. Anyway, we try. And we try hard. Good morning. Good morning. People already checking in. You can do that at the text line, which is sponsored by Cypress Point Resort, Cameron's Garage, the Tavern, and so much more, the Safari, the Lodge. The text line 601-918-8409. 601-918-8409. And I'll be glad to give you a shout out or talk with you or whatever I can do. Whatever I can do, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever I can do. And again, I want to thank Podcast Promote, and I want to thank Podcast Promotions. These are people that are allowing us to put our feet up on there in the mornings for the entire United States and actually the whole wide world. You can go back and watch any of these shows on YouTube, Rumble, Restream, and Facebook. So if you're not awake early in the morning like we are around here, then you can do that. Last night I was at bike night at Cameron's Garage. What a fantastic evening. Lots of bikes there. Lots of people having fun. But tonight we're going to focus a little bit on a couple of things going on out there. First of all, life is a journey. We all know that. There is the blood leukemia benefit going on out there tonight. It's called Life is a Journey. It's going to be live music with Stevens Brothers early, Bradley Parker, Philip Yarbrough, and more. There's still tickets available at cypresspointms.com until they take those down later this afternoon. Again, that is cypresspointms.com. Click on events. Grab a ticket. It's only $65 for a fantastic cause. There's going to be all kind of auction items, silent auction, and live auctions. There's a Gucci $10,000 purse up for grabs, too, on a raffle. Wow. I mean, I don't personally carry a purse, but my Lord. My Lord. That would make somebody's life for sure. But it's always a great event and it's for a great cause. Life is a actual journey. Yes, it is. Today, again, is April 24th, so we're talking about tonight. You heard myself and other morning radio show hosts talking about it. Well, it's today, Friday. And listen, if you got something on your mind, let's freaking talk about it. Let's go ahead and make sure we're talking about it. Good morning to Melanie Dedman. Also, good morning to Scott. Good morning to Ricky. What's happening? Madison County in the house. Good morning to one of our favorite judges that's just checked in on the show. Got somebody from Baton Rouge checked in. There was a mall shooting over in Baton Rouge yesterday. So, unfortunately, a mall shooting. It looked as though the latest report I saw on that looked as though there was two different type. I don't want to say gang members, but two different groups of people that obviously didn't agree on something, and it turned into another shooting in Baton Rouge, Louisiana yesterday on April 23rd, Thursday. But that's unfortunately the way things go. Also, we got some people from the Matty Cole Band checked in. Matty Cole Band will be performing live at Cameron's Garage tonight. And if you haven't seen the Matty Cole Band, they're taking over. Taking over, ladies and gentlemen. And that's a great thing. That's a great thing. We're talking about a great band with great people. If you haven't seen the beautiful young Matty Cole sing, we're talking about a real performer. We're talking about a real performer. All right, so as we roll on into the 6:42 a.m. minute second of the hour, we're going to get going on this show on a Friday. You know, we like to change it up just a little bit on Fridays, but it's still the same. We are still the same. It's sad that some of the younger generations, think that they're losing rights under Donald Trump or under the president or under this administration, when in fact they're actually gaining rights, if anything. But really, they're not gaining or losing. just following the Constitution. And they're uninformed, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of people are uninformed because of the propaganda. I mean, a lot.
So you're saying that blacks, Hispanics,
Black people,
Mexicans,
black people, it's
Italians,
pretty clear.
Polish, they all lost rights in this country. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And if they did, what rights have they lost?
Yeah, like I told you, black and brown
what-
people have predominantly lost. It hasn't.
So they can't
trying to
walk
tell
down the
you.
street, or they'll be arrested. A black man or a
I mean,
Hispanic?
I mean,
No,
actually,
you're full of shit. And you
Yeah, they are losing rights each and every day. Each and every day. Sadly, it's really sad that people think this way. But they do. And Lori just sent a message and said, hey, I'm a woman. Okay, I'm a 51-year-old woman. I've lost nothing. Of course you haven't. I mean, here's an Italian friend. I've lost nothing. And then we go on to some comments on the actual direct video, not my personal comments. He literally just answered, I haven't lost anything. Well, of course you haven't. So the argument should be ended. Endo. Stop the propaganda. Stop the lies. You know you haven't lost any freaking rights. You haven't lost anything to do with the Constitution. However, the left-wing party, also known, AKA, as the Democrat Party, are the ones trying to take away your rights, period, and trying to rewrite history. They want to pack the Supreme Court with up to 13. They tell you that. They tell us all that. They want to pack the courts. They want to add other Puerto Rico as a state or wherever, all this crazy stuff that we've heard. And we know it's true because some of their leadership admit it on camera. All you have to do is listen because they talk about it and they ain't scared. Okay, they're not scared. There are two types of Americans right now. There are actually two types of Americans living in our country, which is the United States of America. And it's just what's happening. Here's a great breakdown on that from Stephen Kuhn.
One hates this country and works very hard, loudly and publicly every day to dismantle it. The other says they love this country and can't name their county commissioner. One of those groups is going to win. And right now, it looks like it's not the one we want. Let me give you an example. Imagine I move to Japan tomorrow. Day one, I walk off the plane and I say, all right, Japan, we need to talk. Stop bowing. Use handshakes. Change the signs to English. I need more cheeseburgers and less fish. And let's celebrate the 4th of July while we're at it, shall we? What do you think would happen? I'd be on the next plane out within 24 hours. And I deserve it too. Because Japan is Japan, right? If I wanted America, I should have just stayed in America, right? Simple, clear. And yet somehow we're being convinced that the same rule doesn't apply in our country. I want to say it plain and simple, really. America is America, just like Japan is Japan. And if you don't respect that, there's a plane with your name on it. Sounds tough, right? Now, before anybody twists what I'm saying, this isn't about hate. It's not about race, and it's not about religion. I love our country because of the people in it. Love it. Every color, every background, every faith. We used to take the best from everywhere, and we built something none of those places could have built alone. But we built it on something very specific. The Constitution, the Bill of Rights, freedom to speak, freedom to pray, freedom to live your life, equal protection under the law. That's the ground that we live on. It doesn't matter if you were born in Ohio or in Germany, Ukraine or in India. Once your feet hit that soil, that's the foundation, period. And here's the good news. In America, you can live however you want. Pray however you want. Eat whatever you want. Raise your kids how you want. America is one of the last places on earth that actually protects your rights to be yourself. But you don't come to a country and demand the country change for you. You change to fit the country. And that's not losing who you are. That's respecting who was already here when you showed up. There's a small difference there, but it's a huge meaning. Anybody who wants to tear up the Constitution and replace it with something else, well, you've lost your moral compass. Simple.
Exactly. It's not that hard to figure out, ladies and gentlemen, and he is 100% correct. You've lost your moral ground. You have. You've lost your moral ground. Like he said, you would not go to Japan. You would not go to Russia and demand them to have, oh, let's celebrate Independence Day on July 4th or else. No, it doesn't work that way. It's also called respect, which we're having a lot of disrespect in this country right now. A lot. A whole lot. So today is Friday, April 24th. If you live in and around Pearl, Mississippi, you know it is the annual Pearl Day tomorrow on April 25th. There is so much going on, including Daughtry with special guest Hinder. We'll be right back.
The City of Pearl invites you to the free Pearl Day concert featuring Daughtry. This Saturday night, Trustmark Park in the northern parking lot with special guest Hinder. Gates open at 5:30. For details, visit cityofpearl.com. Bring your lawn chairs and enjoy a great night of live music under the stars. No outside food or beverages allowed.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Power 104.3, The Pirate. The Pirate is the heartbeat of Pearl. The Pirate.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are
Revamped
made at Cypress
Entertainment is
Point.
now
Close to
Revamped
home, yet
Retro
it feels
Media.
miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the Tavern. The Tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the Safari Park and Petting Zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the Wedding Chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is unleashed. It is uninhibited. And it is, by the way, the Unleashed Media Network and Unleashed Talk with Darrell Arnold at 104.3 FM. The Pirate, as well as Restream and YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and all other platforms that allow us on there, which is growing every single day thanks to all of you guys. As we really and truly appreciate it, I promise you. I promise you we do. Okay, we're going to change up a little bit. We were talking about a lot of things going on. Now, on Friday, which is today, April 24th, I wanted to read a little something from you from Isabel Brown. The Gen X unemployment rate right now and the Gen Z especially the Gen Z, though. It's high right now because the government has been importing cheap labor, because those people actually want to go work. So if the younger generation wanted to get up and actually go work, that wouldn't be happening. So I found this story very interesting. The answer from Congress is to safeguard the GDP. And I guess just to continue to allow 10 million people who are illegally here to still work. Now, we're hoping all that changes. The Trump administration's doing everything it can right now to get all that changed, but that's what's been happening. We had Joe Biden for 4 years, really and truly hammering on that. So, and some of the Democrats, well, one of their main, that punk Democrat, Harry Sisson, the idea that immigrants are coming here and stealing jobs is not true. Well, you know what, dude? You're 100% wrong. Walk out your front door. No matter what town, city, county, walk out your front door. Of course they're stealing jobs. What an idiot. Anyway, this audio exchange is on point.
The Gen Z unemployment rate is at a record high right now, with 10 million members of our generation currently unemployed and seeking meaningful employment. Now, the government's solution to that throughout the past several years has been to import cheap labor that they don't have to pay as much as they pay you from all over the world, and to make sure those jobs are not available to you. They are available to people who don't even have the qualifications necessarily for the jobs that you are seeking, and paid $250,000 plus for that magic degree that gave you the right to pursue that job in the job market. Of course, I'm wildly frustrated about this. I think you should be too, that the answer from Congress to save our GDP is to just allow 10 million people who are here in this country illegally to stay and keep those jobs, because it's cheaper for the United States economy. Some things matter a whole lot more than 5 percentage points on our GDP. This is what I hear from young men. And yet, when I hear about criticism related to new green cards or ending mass amnesty programs, they just target young men more than anybody else by being xenophobic or racist or hateful. There's nothing xenophobic, racist, or hateful about it. It is a system that has been consistently selling out the opportunities of our generation for everyone else around the world. And frankly, it's just not sustainable if we're serious about prospering and finding our own American dream.
Harry, what's your response?
Exactly. Why do you think that Trump and the administration and all the Senate and Congress are running on the border, and have been for 5 years or so now, 5.5? Because it's true. It is very true. Democrats and Democrat leadership destroys everything with the indoctrination at college. These people are paying upwards of 250 grand for an education for certain jobs, only to get out of college, and they've given those jobs away to either illegal migrants or migrants who will just do it for cheap. It's that simple. Do it for cheap. Illegal aliens should all be deported and come back legally if they want to, and go through the whole process, period. That's just what has been said forever. Okay? It's the truth. You may not agree with it, but it is what's happening, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been what's happening for quite a while now. It's official. Trump Donald Trump and Elon Musk are back on Buddy Buddy on Twitter/X and True Social. President Trump and Elon Musk have joined forces now with Senator Mike Lee, calling out the Senate GOP, and they need to be calling them out, ladies and gentlemen. They need to be calling them out, making noise. You need to be calling them out, making noise. To nuke the filibuster. Do it and do it now. And get our policies done. DONE. Especially the Save America Act. Get it done. Get her done. 47 and Elon know what time it is, baby. Get on board. Make it happen. Trump ran on this. The American people want this. Upwards of 80% of Americans plus, if not more. Get her done. But John Thune apparently is compromised. What other reason? What other reason would it be? If he's not compromised, the time for talk has been over, y'all. It's over. It's over. I've talked about it. I've screamed about it. I've lost sleep over it. Congress should be met with a scathing rebuke and a request for the Save America Act now. NOW. So I guess this message came through 6 minutes ago. Thanks for the message. But let's go. The first step is going to have to be removing John Thune as the leader of the Republican majority in the United States Senate. Looking that way, isn't it? Looking that way, unfortunately. There's no way that President Trump and other people are not totally PO'd right now with John Thune. It's just, come on, y'all. Come on. Just bookmark it and get it done. We don't have much time. Time's running out. It's the top of the hour, 7 a.m. on Friday, and that's Central Daylight Time, April 24th. And the year, of course, is 2026. My name is Darrell Arnold, and thanks again for tuning in. Let's do the top of the hour break.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
You're not. You're in Pearl, Mississippi. Listening to Power 104.3, The Pirate, where we play almost everything.
The City of Pearl invites you to the free Pearl Day concert featuring Dog Train. This Saturday night, Trustmark Park in the northern parking lot with special guest Hinder. Gates open at 5:30. For details, visit cityofpearl.com. Bring your lawn chairs and enjoy a great night of live music under the stars. No outside food or beverages allowed.
If you or a loved one need reliable medical equipment, trust a name Mississippi has depended on for over 20 years. Mobility Medical, located right in Flowood, is your local family-owned source for mobility and home healthcare solutions. From power wheelchairs and scooters to lift chairs that help you relax in comfort, they've got everything you need to stay independent and live better every day. Need help at home? Mobility Medical offers hospital beds, tables, and essential supplies, and more. What sets them apart? It's their personalized service. Their experienced team works one-on-one with you to find the right equipment. Serving all of Mississippi and beyond with in-store support and delivery options available. Mobility Medical, helping you move better, live better, and stay independent. Visit them today in Flowood or call to learn more.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are made at Cypress Point. Close to home, yet it feels miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the Tavern. The Tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the Safari Park and Petting Zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the Wedding Chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
Wake up in the morning. Welcome back to the Unleashed Media Radio Show and live stream with your host, Darrell Arnold.
We on fire!
All right, we on fire on a Friday morning, y'all. Weekend ahead. This is the week ending where we wrap up the week, the chaos, and we roll into the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. 7:04 in the morning. My name is D. Darrell Arnold, 104.3. Also the live stream. And you heard a couple of things there. Pearl Day tomorrow, car show in the morning. Lots of things going on at City Park, as well as Trustmark Stadium. And then, of course, the big concert tomorrow night, Saturday, April 25th, 2026. Hinder will be opening the show at 7 p.m. start time, gates at 5:30. And, of course, Daughtry takes the stage at approximately 8:45 p.m. This is a free concert. Pearl Day, ladies and gentlemen, Pearl Day. We had a blast last year over there with Brett Michaels. Incredible, incredible, incredible. Hope to see all y'all there for Pearl Day tomorrow, Saturday. Also want to talk about the next Saturday, which is May 2nd. That's Kentucky Derby Day, of course. All the ladies and all that stuff sip on the classic mint juleps and the Woodford Reserve specials. And, look, catch all the action in style. This is all happening at Cameron's Garage, located at Cypress Point. The big hats, the bold bets, the good times guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. Grab your crew and don't miss it on Derby Day done right. And guess what? To top it all off, you remember them from all your favorite reservoir locations and all your favorite Jackson locations back in the day. Spank the Monkey. Starting at 7 p.m., Spank the Monkey, Spank the Monkey. Happening Saturday, May 2nd, the year 2026, which is next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but the next. You don't want to miss it for sure. And, of course, the drink specials during and the Kentucky Derby drink specials will definitely be the mint julep and the Woodford Reserve, ladies and gentlemen. Be there. Be all up in there. Gonna be a blast. And it also is the only appearance by Spank the Monkey in this whole entire area, basically in the whole entire state. So keep that in mind. You will not see them anywhere else. All right, we were talking about nuking that filibuster and all of that stuff. Man, does it need to happen. You know it does. Anybody with common sense knows what's going to happen if the Democrats take over the House and or Senate, or both. You know what's going to happen. Angie Jones said they stopped teaching cursive writing in school years ago. It's true. They did. They stopped. Dumbing down America was the goal during the Barack Hussein Obama administration and moving forward after that. Dumbing down America. I know that President Trump right now is 100% at war with the deep state. They need to perp walk these people, though, because we're tired of talking about it, hearing about it, and it not actually happening. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Yes, you do. Yes, in fact, you do. And I know you do. I talk to people. I agree with people, and I don't agree sometimes. But, you know that, right? Donald Trump has had a lot to say to so-called reporters in the last couple of days.
I can only tell you this, it'll end. I don't think it'll be very long, by the way. They're delaying it because we don't know who to deal with. They are in, they know who the leader is in this country. We don't know who the leader is in Iran. Because remember, regime change. Khomeini is gone. He's gone to greener pastures. He's gone, and all of his team is gone. Then a second group came in. They're all gone. And now you have the third group, and they're a little concerned about being gone, too.
Yeah, so that's the deal. Straight from the horse's mouth, from the president. So that's the deal. Okay? It is the deal. Greener pastures. And now I guess the third group of, quote, whoever in the hell's running the show over there is headed by another Khomeini, supposedly. But different families completely, according to sources. I don't know. I don't know. But here's a total a-hole named Josh. I don't know why you still follow me, brother. So he doesn't even know who he's negotiating with. In a world full of Donald Trump, be a Barack Obama, you're following the wrong guy, brother. I mean, you're still welcome to follow me, but I can honestly say we're not going to agree on anything if you believe that. If you believe that, then see ya. But listen, I welcome everybody to follow me. We might not agree, but that's a big one there, brother. That's a huge difference. Just is. Another story that came out yesterday, Dan Bongino was giving a, quote, message to the FBI leakers. Okay, so there's more leakers in the FBI as usual, always, that are trying to stop Director Kash Patel from his initiatives to clean up the government and institute broad accountability for a lot of weaponization that has happened before Kash Patel and before Dan Bongino were even there. He said, quote, out of Dan Bongino's mouth, "You guys and ladies that are doing this are filth. You're garbage. You're an embarrassment. You disgust me." Then he went on to say, "I was proud to have worked there. I worked with some amazing people. To the guys and ladies out there with dirt under their fingernails, you know, the ones pulling out bank robbers, drug runners, terrorists, CCCP spies, squads against violent children. Yeah, thank you for everything you do. But listen, these other traitors is what I call them. These nut jobs. These nut jobs. He also said he was so glad that they had gotten rid of a ton of you. A ton of you that sit on your butts, collect a government paycheck, collect a pension, and do nothing to help. Okay, this is our FBI, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? FBI. And people that say, "Oh, shut up, Dan, you're blah, 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 blah." You weren't there. I didn't see any of you there. I didn't see any of you sign up for it. So shut up. Okay? Just stop. This is why I actually respect Dan Bongino and trust him. Because he was there. He wasn't hiding behind a keyboard or social media. The rats deserve every single bit of what he's saying, and they all know who the heck they are. I don't know how they sleep at night, but they know who they are. Like, here's one of the Democrats, one of the leftists. You are looking like a pathetic excuse for a man, Dan. You're a quitter. You abandoned. Imagine a quitter talking big. So, Melanie is your name. Melanie R. You shut up. I haven't seen you up there. Haven't seen you up there doing anything to help. Didn't see you sign up for anything except for X or somewhere where you can talk trash behind a keyboard. So many keyboard warriors. So many keyboard warriors. You know? But it is what it is, and it is what it is. DHS secretary, okay, the one that took over for Christy Nome, Mark Wayne Mullen. He's not playing, thank God. He went berserk on the maniac Chuck Schumer, as he should, on national television. Good. No one respects Schumer anymore. And if you do, Is something wrong with you? Something's wrong with you. In my total opinion.
My ears red. It takes a lot to get me upset. But Chuck Schumer, no one respects you. The definition of a lying scumbag politician, that is you. You would be the definition if you Googled you right now. I mean, why don't you just come out and be honest with American people? He wants to have open borders. If you want to defund the Customs and Border Protection Agency, if you want to defund ICE, who is in there arresting the criminals that the laws were passed by you, you had time to change those during the Biden administration. You didn't, because you're for open borders and you're for the criminals running amok in our cities. And for you to say that is so disrespectful to the law enforcement that that is out there protecting you, because he has a detail with him. How about he walks around these city streets without a detail? I wonder how safe he would feel.
So
good for Mark Wayne Mullen. Good. All he did is tell the truth, ladies and gentlemen, about Schumer. And we have allowed, honestly, we have allowed, especially the former administration, these politicians to become so removed from the real American people, you, me, all the hardworking folks. We've allowed that to happen. They're no longer answer to we the people. I mean, they no longer answer to we the people. They don't. And if they're not part of the people, then we can't represent them anymore. So stop going out and spending money supporting these fools and voting for these people. Just stop. Because they are all about illegals first and Americans last. Backwards. And all of that is because they have nothing to run on. Zero. Except TDS. Whatever Trump does, they do the opposite. Because they have nothing to run on. Their party is done. Senator Chuck Schumer, let's just think about this for a second. He's been in government for 51 years. That means he's never had a job at all. Let that sink in. He watched as Americans were annihilated and killed in wars, and Iran's continued of killing Americans, whatever. He never bothered the Democrat. I mean, he never once, and his party rather, took any action against any of that. The Muslim terror ideology, none of it. Multiple talks, useless sanctions. And Iran was labeled a state sponsor of terrorism in 1984, ladies and gentlemen, 1984. Calling the United States of America a paper tiger. Teach your children and your Democrats what Iran has done to the United States. 1973, 1974, OPEC, Iran-led oil embargo crisis. 1979, embassy hostage crisis, 444 days. 83, U.S. embassy bombing Beirut. Also in 83, Beirut Marine barracks bombing in their barracks. bombed. 241 American people dead. 84 U.S. Embassy Annex bombing, Beirut. 1986 TW Flight 840-88 Pan Am Flight 103 bombing. 93 Twin Towers bombing. The first attempt was in 1993. 96 Khobar Towers, Saudi Arabia. It goes on and on, y'all. I mean, on and on and on. It is a whole freaking list. Message me, I'll send you the whole list. Okay? Message me and I'll send you the whole list. But yet here we have Barack Obama, Pelosi, Schumer, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Feinstein, Harry Reid, all of them saying the same freaking things about illegal immigration as Trump is saying now. They were saying in 2015. They are so just pure liars. They said all the same thing then. It wasn't wrong then. It's not wrong now. Got a message from David Hall. Good morning on a Friday. I would just like to say it's my opinion that these pathetic career politicians that have been in the government for longer than 2 decades, 20 years, are actual parasites. They're just ticks, Ticks, sucking the blood out of a hound dog. Yeah. Term limits. That's what we need. Talking about it for years. Let's make it happen. Talking about it for freaking years. Year after year. Day after day. That's what we've done, is talk about it. That's what we've done. We have talked about it over and over and over. All right. Thanks for all the responses I've been getting. I really appreciate it. For y'all hanging with me on this Friday morning. And if you're just waking up, good morning. And it's been a great morning so far. My name is Darrell Arnold, and we are Unleashed.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Power 104.3, The Pirate. The Pirate is the heartbeat of Pearl. The Pirate.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
Join us every week for the latest episode of This Week in Pearl, your go-to source for all the city's happenings. New episodes drop every Wednesday on our YouTube channel, City of Pearl Government. Stay updated on local events, city news, and more. Don't miss out. Catch up on everything Pearl has to offer. For more details, visit cityofpearl.com and Pearl Municipal Broadcasting's Facebook page.
The City of Pearl invites you to the free Pearl Day concert featuring Dog Train. This Saturday night, Trustmark Park in the northern parking lot with special guest Hinder. Gates open at 5:30. For details, visit cityofpearl.com. Bring your lawn chairs and enjoy a great night of live music under the stars. No outside food or beverages allowed.
Don't forget.
Fire! You are listening to WPBP 104.3 FM, The Pirate, Pearl, Mississippi.
Can I tell you something just between you and me?
Life is a journey. Join us at Cypress Point Resort, benefiting the Blood Cancer United, and an elegant night of live music, cocktails, hors d'oeuvres, both live and silent auctions, featuring live music from the Stevens Brothers, Philip Yarbrough, Bradley Parker, and more. Cocktail attire is encouraged. Tickets are $65. Don't miss your chance for the featured, of course, raffle, which is a Gucci purse. Tickets are available at cypresspointms.com. That's cypresspointms.com. Only $65 for this incredible cause. And life is a journey. Check it out on Facebook and the website, and we will see you there April 24th, Friday. All right, we are back. Life is a journey. That Life is a Journey blood cancer benefit is tonight, y'all, Friday, April 24th. That's tonight. You can go to cypresspointms.com, cypresspointms.com. Still some tickets available for that. They got a Gucci purse that's going to be raffle, $10,000 purse, which is insane, but fantastic, going to a great cause. You also heard about Pearl Day. Tomorrow night is Daughtry. Opening the show is Hinder. Gates at 5:30, Hinder at 7, Daughtry at approximately 8:45. Also earlier in the early daytime, the big car show at Trustmark Park, along with all the activities over at Pearl City Park on 80. You don't want to miss any of it. And you don't want to miss anything happening. Okay? And the concert's free. I have so many people saying, hey, there's no way that concert is free. Oh, yes, there is. It's called Pearl Day. And yes, it is free. Okay? It is. Last year was over 10,000 people for Brad Michaels. And yeah, it was free then too, by the way. That's what happens in Pearl, thanks to the wonderful mayor, all the aldermen, and Stacy and her whole crew, and everyone else involved. Frank, Kim, Crystal, Devontae. It takes all of them to make it happen, okay? It takes all of them to make it happen. Dr. Oz. Let's talk about Dr. Oz real quick. He has given the governors around the whole country, all states, 10 days. That's it. You have 10 days, governors listening out there, to comply with his Medicaid fraud investigation, or either face, you know what, high-risk providers. Need to be verified, y'all. So you got 10 days, all right? Let's hear it from Dr. Oz.
Governors, I'm calling on you to act now. Fraudsters and other bad actors are draining Medicaid funds, costing taxpayers billions every year. Worse, it's taking resources away from the people who need them the most, our seniors, our children, and Americans with disabilities. This steals people's health as well, and in some cases, even their lives. Here's the bottom line. It's time to make sure the providers of high-risk services are valid and meet all the requirements to deliver care to Medicaid beneficiaries. Now, for some states, this is years overdue. So don't wait for a long-term plan. That's coming, but it's not a substitute for action today. So here's the deal. Within 10 business days, the American people need to know, will you move forward with making sure the providers are revalidated and can be trusted with the care of our most vulnerable citizens? And in 30 days, they need to know what's your timeline and what's your scope. Since Medicaid is administered by the states, you know where the risks are highest, where the providers operating with weaker oversight. For example, those without national provider identifiers. These are the gaps that criminals, including foreign nationals, exploit. Revalidation works. It forces accountability. It removes bad actors, and it sends a clear message. The Medicaid system is not an unguarded piggy bank. States have the authority to define high-risk providers, and CMS expects you to provide those most vulnerable to abuse. And my team is ready to help in any way possible. We'll provide technical support every step of the way. This is a shared responsibility. State and federal partners working together to protect Medicaid and the Americans it serves.
Amen, brother. Somebody in there with common sense. Wow. Somebody in there that doesn't want to steal your money. Wow. Your taxpayer money. Wow. Good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. You know, imagine how little we would actually need to be taxed, even though I don't agree with being taxed, if it wasn't going towards fraud, ladies and gentlemen, because that's what it's been going towards. We know. No more ghost clinics, unqualified. No more fake home health care scams, unqualified. It's not politics, ladies and gentlemen. They say, Darrell, you're talking about politics. No, I'm not talking about politics. I'm talking about basic integrity. We've watched the Medicaid program from state to state, Medi-Cal in California, whatever, get looted, literally, for years while eligible Americans get short-changed. That's what we watched. That's what we lived through. It's time to verify providers that are legitimate. Services are real. And the fraud gets axed, starved out, ladies and gentlemen. Starved out. But, 10 days is quick. I'll believe it when I see it, but I entirely hope that the governors comply. I do, however, believe that our governor of Mississippi will comply. It's so sad, though. It's like I said, it's basic integrity. It's not politics. Not politics. The only reason for a non-corporation, not being a part of this or not complying means that they're a scam. That's the only reason that they would not want to do that. So we have to take it as, well, you're not complying, so that means you're a scam, right? Right. Of course. Of course. Anyway, that's that. That is that. Ilhan Omar got caught. She got caught. Demands for the investigation and prosecution are ramping up after she tried giving $1.5 million in an earmark to a health nonprofit, so-called. But guess what? It's a freaking restaurant. A Somalian restaurant. She's still going in the fraud business. Please, y'all, please make an example out of this person. Please.
Not normal behavior at all. Since before all of this insanity, from 1983 up until 2020, one singular restaurant operated out of the entire building, out of the entire 326 address. Up until then, this building promoted its restaurant. Look at this guy looking through the window. Up until 2022, when they begin to have some type of BLM thing and other political posters, that's when everything gets so out of hand. You guys are not going to believe the things in this video.
326 Cedar Avenue. And that is where we are right now. So this is 326. Ilhan Omar was trying to pass $1.46 million of taxpayers' money to Generation Hope, which is a substance abuse clinic, drug addiction place that was supposed to be operating here, but people found out that it is a restaurant.
It's the exact address where we are that she listed to receive $1.46 million.
Get her, please. Okay? Please. Get her. And these weak-minded, far-left media outlets like CNN, garbage, ABC, garbage, NBC, all of the rest of them, the fake news, they keep battling Donald Trump on every press conference. I just don't understand. It's not going to work out well for them. It never does. But they are truly, supposedly, allegedly investigating Ilhan Omar now. Allegedly. We just got to hope that the word allegedly is they are, in fact, doing it. They are, in fact, doing it because they absolutely should be, in fact, doing it. Okay? Doing it. Doing it. Yep. They should. Some of these mainstream reporters, just so they can, I guess, be cool amongst their Democrat buddies who are filled with TDS, they realize they're going to get hammered when they ask Donald Trump these stupidity questions, or in fact, they are that stupid. It's one of the two. They are weak. They ask weak stupidity questions. They're going to get hammered by Trump every time. You would think they would learn.
Nuclear weapon against Iran. You posted on Truth Social
No,
a few weeks ago.
we don't need
That's
it.
not
Why
what
do I
that's
need
about.
it? Why would a stupid question like that be asked?
You posted
Why
on
would I?
Truth
Why would I
Social.
use a nuclear weapon when we've totally, in a very conventional way, decimated them without it? No, I wouldn't use it. A nuclear weapon should never be allowed to be used by anybody.
He said, yeah, what a stupid question, he said. Why, in fact, would... And my answer to that is they are really stupid. The fake news. The fake news. It is dumb. I'm sorry. to ask that kind of question. It really is. I mean, just the Trump derangement meter is pegging red line right now. The Trump derangement meter is stuck in the red line. It just is. Which paper or which organization asked that question? Well, pretty much all of those fake medias ask those type of questions every time they get a chance. But Trump did give her the right answer for a very stupid question. That's all he did. A very good answer for a stupid question. Okay, stupid question. Oh my goodness. So after we just talked about all the things that are going on the weekend, because hey, it's Friday and today's date is April 24th and it is 2026. So much going on. Pearl Day week, all that good stuff. Also, my show now, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays, 6:30 a.m. till 8 a.m. You better get up early if you're going to beat me. But don't try to beat me, meet me. Okay? This is a very funny, true audio video piece that somebody put together. I'm going to let the whole 2 minutes play. Okay? Enjoy this, especially enjoy this if you're a tad bit older. And I don't mean an old person, but if you understand, then you understand.
The 1970s. A majestic era before Wi-Fi, helicopter parenting, or the concept of basic safety regulations. If you're watching this on a $1,200 rectangle of glass while sipping an oat milk latte, brace yourself. I'm about to explain how an entire generation survived childhood relying solely on tap water and profound parental neglect. Let's talk transit. Long before apps and e-scooters, we had the big wheel. It was 100% hard plastic, sounded like a blender full of rocks, and we rode them until the front tire literally wore through. When you outgrew that, you graduated to a heavy metal bicycle with a banana seat. Helmets? Please. Our safety protocol was pretending we were Evel Knievel and hoping the pavement was forgiving. Our toys weren't educational or ergonomic, they were tetanus hazards. We played with Tonka trucks forged from actual heavy-duty steel and SST cars that launched off ramps like projectiles. If you didn't draw blood at least once by lunchtime, you simply weren't playing hard enough. And the supervision? Absolutely non-existent. The standard parental operating procedure was to shove you out the screen door at 8 a.m. and lock it behind you. The only tracking device they used was the sun. The golden rule? Don't come back until the streetlights come on. We built forts, explored the woods, and enjoyed the terrifying, exhilarating freedom of knowing our parents had absolutely no clue where we were. When you got thirsty, you didn't go inside for an artisanal hydration pouch. You drank from the garden hose. It was lukewarm, tasted heavily of rubber and neighborhood algae, and it was glorious. Eventually, the streetlights flickered on, signaling the end of your freedom. You went inside to watch one of the 3 available TV channels, serving as the unpaid human remote control for your dad. The 1970s. We didn't have a million entertainment options force-fed to us on tiny screens. We had Saturday morning cartoons, block parties, and a daily unspoken struggle for survival. We might not have had the internet, but at least we had sick bikes.
Yep, you know. And the 80s were like that too. It wasn't just the 70s. But all of that's funny, but it's only funny because it's actually true. It is 100% true. Seriously, 100% true. But, you know, we all talk about that when we're out and about, and it brings back great memories. And I'm not talking bad about the younger generation. There are a lot of great kids that I've met over the last few years that are young, and they're just great people. But our childhood was glorious, in my opinion. It just was. Glorious. And that's all I got to say on that one. Those were the days, as Edith and Archie Bunker said. You know, it's funny that people do laugh about the street lights curfew. But at our house and all of my friends, it literally was actually true. I mean, for real. It's all spot on. So we survived free range parenting. Yes, we did. That was a comment from Crystal. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. The crisis arrived slowly, but when it did, it really did. It did. Yeah. Somebody just sent me a text message and said I would not change or trade one stitch or one broken bone for those memories from back then. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Neither would I. Neither would I. I just wouldn't. Got another text from let's see. We'll get back to that one because we want to talk a little Friday caffeine talk about caffeine. Okay. Everybody, I won't say everybody. Most people have to have their caffeine, whether it's coffee, whether it's soda, whether it's one of these energy drinks, whether it's a mixture that you mix up in water, whatever the heck it is. Even down to pain medication, headache medication that has caffeine in it, so it'll kick in faster. But caffeine changed the world, y'all. I was reading and listening to this about how caffeine really did change the world. And I find this interesting. We're going way back in history.
Caffeine, it was a very different world. People drank morning, noon, and night because it was safer than water, right? Water was really how you got diseases. If you fermented things, it killed all of the microbes. Even kids, you gave your kids hard cider for breakfast. Caffeine comes along in the 1650s, and it helped the culture in two ways. One was, as safe as alcohol made water, boiling it made it much safer. So this gave this incredible public health boost to these places. There is a lot of evidence linking coffee and tea consumption with the Enlightenment in France and with the Age of Reason in England. When you're doing physical labor outdoors, which was most of history, right? You could be buzzed. You didn't have to know what time it was. You work from sun up to sundown. When you start moving into like running machines and doing double entry bookkeeping, you need a clearer head. And when you start moving toward night shifts and overnight shifts, you couldn't do that without caffeine. It freed us from the rhythms of the sun, which dictated everything in Western culture. You could only work till the sun went down. So it had a profound effect on capitalism, the rise of capitalism. Before caffeine, it was a very different world. People drank morning, noon, and night because it was safer than water, right?
Different world before caffeine. We're going back to the 1600s. How about that? I don't know. I just happened to see that, and I'm like, wow. Wow. But just another thing that makes you go, HMM. It's hard to be in sync with the rhythm of the sun now because of this. I don't think it's a good thing. That's one reply to the gentleman's story. He's not wrong, according to Eric. I've worked in several office environments the last 15 years, and they all offered free coffee. Heck yeah. The car business has been doing it for years. And quite frankly, anywhere else. My friend Lynn just commented and said, you know what? I've never thought about it like this, but it does make quite a bit of sense. Of course, it does. And interesting. One more interesting thing that we're going to talk about before we get out of here on this Friday. But first, we're going to take our last break and then roll up on the top of the hour and say, see you later. We never say goodbye, but see you later after this break.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are made at Cypress Point. Close to home, yet it feels miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the Tavern. The Tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the Safari Park and Petting Zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the Wedding Chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
Wait a minute. You ain't heard nothing yet.
Power 104.3, The Pirate. The Pirate is the heartbeat of Pearl. The Pirate.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
If you or a loved one need reliable medical equipment, trust a name Mississippi has depended on for over 20 years. Mobility Medical, located right in Flowood, is your local family-owned source for mobility and home healthcare solutions. From power wheelchairs and scooters to lift chairs that help you relax in comfort, they've got everything you need to stay independent and live better every day. Need help at home? Mobility Medical offers hospital beds, tables, and essential supplies, and more. What sets them apart? It's their personalized service. Their experienced team works one-on-one with you to find the right equipment. Serving all of Mississippi and beyond with in-store support and delivery options available. Mobility Medical, helping you move better, live better, and stay independent. Visit them today in Flowood or call to learn more.
Wake up in the morning. Welcome back to the Unleashed Media Radio Show and live stream with your host, Darrell Arnold.
We on fire!
Oh, yeah. Friday morning, y'all. Let's get the weekend started right. 4 minutes to the top of the hour, 8 a.m., that is Central Daylight Time. Tomorrow, y'all, the big deal, Pearl Day. I want to see all of you there. The big car show, Trustmark Park, early in the day. Of course, all the things going on at City Park on Highway 80. That's right, Pearl Day. And then the big concert, the big rock show is going to be Daughtry headlining the show. The band Hinder will be opening the show. The gates will open at 5:30. Hinder will start at 7 p.m. And, of course, Daughtry's follows that up around 8:45-ish. Listen, this is a free concert. A free concert. Don't you dare miss it. What about a little Friday MySpace memories? You know?
PSYOP, and the details are wild. I see memes like this often. People who are nostalgic for the days of MySpace, it didn't shove endless ads and propaganda down our throats. But the thing is that couldn't be further from the truth. Not only was MySpace the one that invented the idea of ads on social media websites, but they also planned to do it in the most deceptive way possible. Everyone knows that the creator of MySpace was Tom Anderson, aka MySpace Tom. But in reality, MySpace was created by two employees of an internet marketing agency called eUniverse in the early 2000s. One of them was MySpace Tom, and the other one was a guy named Chris DeWolf. The two men noticed that all of their coworkers were signing up for a new website called Friendster, an example of a new thing called social media, and they were spending a ton of time on it. Way more time than they were spending on any of the websites that eUniverse was putting their ads on. They saw an opportunity, so they went to their boss at eUniverse with a proposal. Allow them to use the company's resources and money and team to build their own version of Friendster. The company would own it, but they would be the president and CEO. And they would launch it and spend time building an audience and making the site popular. And then they would flip a switch and load it with ads. And that's exactly what they did. MySpace launched in 2003, and they grew the audience using eUniverse's massive email mailing list. It became a cultural phenomenon and popularized the idea of social media more than any website that came out before it. Everybody remembers posting bulletins and finding the perfect profile song, curating their top 8, and literally learning how to code in HTML so that they can customize
actually
their
loved
page. Around this time,
MySpace.
they initiated the next.
True story, and I'm out. MySpace, we played their party in Los Angeles, California at the beginning. You signed up with a card table was there with and you added yourself to their email list. Not too many years later, still living in Los Angeles, I also signed up for Facebook as soon as it was available for public because it was just colleges. We also performed their grand new opening. So one of the first public profiles, I threw it up on there, didn't know it was going to take off. Didn't really use it for a few weeks or a month or so, and then all of a sudden, boom, boom, all your friends are there. Funny how that happens. So a little flashback Friday before I get out of here. Remember all the things going on this week. Remember the weekend's coming up. Be nice. Be nice, ladies and gentlemen. I know you can do it. We all can do it. We all get frustrated, but we can be nice. Unleashed, uninhibited, unapologetic. My name is Darrell Arnold. It is Friday, April 24th, 2026. See ya.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hashtag unfiltered, hashtag unapologetic, America First Talk at its best. Where we party the right way. See you next time, or else.